Everybody ready to meet some new NPCs?
Yeah.
I'm ready for
Here's
more
hoping.
backstory and lore dropping.
Oh yeah.
Story time! Yes, more lore dropping.
Yeah,
What's up,
I have my
guys?
headphone ready.
Hey.
Hi, Brad.
Cool, I need to turn you up. I can barely hear you.
Oh, I have my. Hold on, my mic is far away. Let me pull it closer before you turn it up, because I know
Yeah.
it's loud.
Oh, my coffee. All right. Okay. What am I missing? I gotta share my camera.
Okay.
The things are working, Brad. Did you see?
I did not, because I know you're gonna be mad at me. I did not have enough time to set them up, so
Oh, no, you're fine.
I'm gonna have to do it next time. I swear, I love them to death. But when I saw you post like they're working, I was like, oh shit, I know I forgot something. I'm sorry. It's been a
No, you're fine. There was a Discord update, I think maybe 2 days ago, and then that fixed it.
okay. Let me see. Let me turn it back on.
Because I was like harassing the help desk.
I forget.
Good.
Okay, it's not working.
All right.
Wow, there's Shane's.
Yeah. Let's check out.
I don't see. I'm still getting. I don't know. I probably have to embed the code or something in there, but only some of them are popping up for me.
Hey, I'm in there. Right.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me turn this one up. There's that one. There's Torren. And but yeah, those are the only 3 ones I got. But I did try to swap some of them out before, and maybe I put a code in wrong or something. So
Maybe.
all good. We will resolve this.
Oh, Torren pops up when he talks. That's so funny.
Yeah, I just saw him like a second ago. Okay. Hey. Sorry, you're cutting in and out there a bit. I'm just gonna turn off the little avatars for now until
I mean, I'm not really talking. I'm just, I guess,
there you go.
part of it. Yeah, I'm just hearing. By the way, Torren's popping. I was like, and apparently that's me going, is funny.
I was concerned too because I'm like, I don't hear Torren talking, but okay.
No, it's because I wasn't. I was just making sounds.
Hopefully, this update is like a fix, and it's not like a I don't know why it keeps coming back, but we'll see.
Band-Aid.
So far for me, it's been a fix. I haven't had any issues with anything. Like, I've changed things, I've moved things around. I even tried with like new people with a different group, and it worked. So.
Okay. Excellent.
Ooh.
So unless they roll out another update where it's messed up, we should be fine for now.
Fantastic. All right. I'm glad everybody's doing good. I hope that Kaylee's recovering from the flu well. We look forward to having you back. And yeah, that sucks. You know, I'm
Brett
praying.
gave it to us last month.
Yeah, there you go. Lingering, super stealth flu, we'll call it. But okay, all of us are here. All of us who are going to be here, and we're going to see how these next series of events go down. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Whoever went ahead and subscribed or gave me monies. I always like monies, so thank you very much. I don't have my monitor up, so I couldn't see who it was. Can I bring up my chat? Will it show in my chat? Let me see. Or will it not show?
Oh, it was Edeline. It was Cookie.
It's Cookie.
Oh, yay.
Thank you, Cookie.
Hi, Cookie.
Hi, Cookie. Thank you.
Thank you.
You are awesome. All right. Well, I say we get this show on the road here. There's quite a bit of ground to cover. And so who wants to give us a recap of what happened last go around?
I'm always down. It's your background, Torren, if you want to.
I mean, yeah, I guess I could also maybe use the hero point, so I'll give it a shot. Going before this session, we had just finished the conversation with Oscar Yoren regarding the potion delivery to the Hooded Lanterns and making a deal with him. as they were delivering these potions to the Hooded Lantern's outpost at Shepherd's Gate, I believe. Torren recalled back to his time at the Amethyst Academy in Dransmud, having been sent there for his, arcane persuasion.
You maybe you're blipping on us a bit.
No, computer, I don't care about any of these things you're trying to push right now.
Your computer's like, oh, wait a minute, it's time to update.
No, my own just decided to pop up. Here's a bunch of video game stuff. It's not doing the video games, doing TTRPGs right now. Thank you for reminding. I'll look at it later. But yeah. So recalling to a time when Dransmud, his many teachings as well as his many interactions with Miss Mathers Matherland, one of the higher ranked wizards of the Amethyst Academy and teacher to Torren, as well as many others. They discussed a number of things, such as...
You gave him that name, by the way.
And I'm not apologizing. Master Mage Mathers Matherland. It was entirely...
Jesus.
This was entirely on purpose, and I'm not apologizing. Anyway.
All right, continue.
This included a number of different conversations, such as the numerous going-ins and ons of Dransmud, the discovery of this new material at the time called Delirium and its effects, talking about the Edicts of Lumen. But one day, Torren had received a letter from home asking him to return, which he had not for some time, discussing it with his teacher, who had some reservations if he should head back or not. Torren seemed convinced to go, but Mathers actually decided to give him a ring, telling him about that back in Kesselholm being one of the... having a lot of information that a lot of weapons from the Amethyst Academy were being sold to Manfred von Kessel's side of the war, as well as Cecilia von Kessel.
True.
He wanted Torren to talk to his mother, as well as basically peruse the area and try to gather information on this to bring back and stop this quote-unquote unethical weapon trade, and hoping of not exacerbating the conflict. Torren, realizing he'd been asked to basically spy on his family, was very hesitant with Mathers giving him the ring and just letting him decide what his actions would be as he would go there. Torren then proceeded to go pack his things, and the memory ended with him getting ready to go back as they had arrived at Shepherd's Gate with the delivery. Going up to the outpost, they told them the Knife Bites told the Hooded Lanterns who they were, why they were there on their mission, and basically they came to deliver the stockpile. And as they were putting it away, Torren's brother Taqren came out, seeing him, and the two brothers went up and embraced each other, glad to see each other after so long. Taqren then joined the group as they went to discuss the matters with Oscar Yoren, who the group had found out only gave half of the supposed shipment that the Hooded Lanterns paid for. After telling the Hooded Lanterns about Oscar Yoren's quote-unquote demands, as well as the incoming threats from the Queensmen of trying to take the potions for themselves, as they were able to discuss bringing up further matters to the leader of the Hooded Lanterns. What's his last name?
Leader of the Hooded Lanterns, Lord Commander.
Yep.
Elis Drexel.
Yes, Elis Drexel. Taqren, though this was with some hesitancy as they weren't fully committed to having the Lord Commander be disturbed, but Taqren used his position as one of the Royal Guard to vouch for the Torren and the Knife Bites. And as we left, they were heading over there, Torren hoping to maybe catch up a bit more with his brother, and the group hopefully meeting with the Lord Commander to have bring up some interesting news they had heard and want to share with him, as well as maybe finding out some answers to their own questions with with another leader of these factions that they've been dealing with since entering Emberwood and Drakkenheim.
Correct. All right. Thank you very much, Torren, aka Kevo. Take some inspiration.
Thank you.
I don't think you guys know what's coming. I think we're pretty much at the point where everything from this point on should be pretty new to everybody here. So we're gonna go ahead and see how you guys react to the next series of events. But before we get there, of course, we are in lore season still, and we have a little background to go over before we get there, because some of this stuff right here may actually be extremely consequential. But all right, give me a second, guys. Let me just go ahead and make sure the stream can see this stuff properly, because sometimes I'll be messing up the stream. It'll be sitting like half of the map be blocked off in like a corner somewhere. So I'm trying to be better about that. But okay, I think we are good to go. So I'm gonna ping our map here. Let's switch it. Oh, everybody's already there. Good. And
I want
let's
to argue that and say because you're DMing. If you've never DM'd before, you have no right to say anything about how playing streams.
True. Thank you. Go do it yourself.
There's like a shit ton of windows open, or in my case, I have papers all over my desk when I'm DMing.
Dice can second that. All right. So let's go here. Let's close that. Let's open this up. There we go. Let's kick this off. We are here. All right. As you guys know, I'm gonna be flashing a bunch of images here. It's really for the stream, so.
Don't flash us, Brent.
That's for you. Got to subscribe to get that. No, I'm joking.
Drop the OF, Brent. Come on.
Yeah,
no,
no.
I'm good. I'm good. All right, here we go. So, about 800 miles east. Turn this down a bit. There we go. About 800 miles east, across the vast forest-covered interior of Westabar, is Kesselholm. Crossing this stretch of land, while the nation was at civil war, was no easy feat. For your mother and Countess Constance Klein-Kessel to arrange such a trip was expensive and full of risk. In reality, this is probably the biggest reason why you didn't go back, quote-unquote, home after settling in Dransmund. Sending letters via magical means was just cheaper. The fact this trip was happening either meant returning home to train with the guard was very, very important to your mother, or there was something else going on. Kesselholm is a small place, nestled deep within the ancient alpine forests of the Kesselwild. It's only about 1,500 people live here. Compare that to Dransmund, which had a robust population of about 40,000. Sebastian Crow's Guide to Drakkenheim says this about Kesselholm. Sitting at the edge of Lake Dray on a small cliff that protrudes into the bay rests the square stone structure of Kesselholm Keep. A few towers jut out from the large structure into the air, and a large stone bridge crosses the opening of the Dran River into the town proper. The town is a modest village of small wooden houses, several shops, a smith, stables, and a few more elegant manor houses. Now, Torren, the private tutor assigned to you and your brother at Kesselholm Keep, taught you that this place was the ancestral home of the von Kessel family. The late king's family claimed to have risen from these lands during the crisis period after the von Draken lineage fell. The Drake and Klein Kessel bloodlines merged some 200 years ago to form the Kessel family. This bloodline, the Kessels, have been ruling Drakkenheim and Westmar ever since. Now, living out here was hard. Cold rains dumped volumes of water into the Lake Dray during the spring, and during the summer, humid air would hang over the lake, shrouding everything for miles around in a blanket of mist. Fall was short and winter snowy. The common folk here are rugged and superstitious. Almost everyone believes the forest is alive, slowly eating away at whatever lives under its boughs. A common saying among the loggers is that you can cut down a dozen trees and a decade later find double the amount. This accelerated growth has made carving out civilization here a constant struggle. Then there's the tales of strange creatures living in these misty woods. Witches and hags, men and women that can turn into strange beasts, hungry yellow-eyed goblins that carry off pets and children under the cover of night, shrieking owlbears that could be heard from miles away. Totems to the sacred flame and old gods can be found on every doorstep as a prayer to keep these dangers away, whether real or imagined. Kesselholm Keep sustains this small community. If it was not for the historical significance of this place and a handsome stipend from the royal family in Drakkenheim, Kesselholm might not appear on any map at all. When Drakkenheim fell and civil war broke out, stipends from Drakkenheim turned into loans from the Geldstad Royal Bank. Kesselholm Keep only received this coin because Manfred von Kessel opted to use the location as a retreat from the war front. But even these loans were drying up. Keeping Manfred's army on the move was expensive, and Manfred didn't taper his exuberant lifestyle a bit since the fall of Drakkenheim. In Torren, you often heard the Countess in the middle of the night ranting and raving to her subordinates about how Manfred was, quote-unquote, sucking the life out of Kesselholm and stealing coin meant for the keep. Despite Manfred von Kessel's infrequent presence at the keep, Countess Constance Klein Kessel ruled this place. What you were told was that the Countess is a widow. She married a cousin of the late king in Drakkenheim, but then that cousin fell ill and died. She had been unquestionably in charge ever since. No one has ever spoke of it being any other way. The Countess was a strange woman, and you and Taqren thought her creepy and maybe even a witch. Her outbursts were legendary. The servants were terrified of her. Kesselholm had no jail because most criminals brought before the Countess were executed within a few hours, sometimes with the accusers along with them if the Countess was in a certain mood. She thought burnings at the stake and anchored drownings in Lake Dray were entertainment and would mandate everyone be present for them. Your mother was a tough woman, former Knight of the Royal Guard, of course, but you can tell this place weighed on her. When the Countess did interact with you, she was nice, but the niceties always had this dark undertone to it. She would occasionally tell you and your brother horrifying tales of children being lured into the woods by cannibalistic witches, or children getting caught in the mist of the woods and being lost forever, or giant spiders kind of snatching kids up into the trees and sucking out their innards. In hindsight, it seemed that she very much enjoyed frightening you both. Besides your mother and brother, the other inhabitants of the keep were just as strange as the Countess. There was the Countess's court mage, Diedrich Moors. Sometimes he was gifted with ownership over criminals, and they were dragged into his stations in the other underbellies of the keep, where screams could be heard throughout the night. Then there was the 7-foot-tall hulking menace known as Rickard Steelfang, who led the guard of Kesselholm, called the Steelfang Mercenaries. You could smell him from yards away, a dirty dog smell, similar to Noel's. According to rumor, he only ate raw meat, and although he technically resided in the keep, he never slept there and only showed up when he was called. An entourage of young women that were somehow related to the Countess also resided in the castle and could be heard cackling and hosting delirious parties throughout the night. This was nothing like Drakkenheim. And this is the backdrop in which you return to Kesselholm. And we're going to cover 3 events here, briefly. What happened in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. All right. Okay. The morning after you arrived, Torren, you met your mother in the servants' dining hall. You haven't seen Taqren yet. Apparently he was out training with the Steelfang Mercenaries, which is the guard of this keep. Your mother kind of looked like the shadow of like her former self. Let's see here. Oh, well, that's right, I moved it. Sure, a bit here. She has lost a lot of weight, and her raven black hair is now shaded with gray. She looks tired, even though she recently got up. You see that she's still dressed in what looks to be morning wear. You note she wears a scarf. As you sit down at the table with her, she looks at you and the first thing she says is, "You're getting fat."
Sorry, having to sit down and study all day does not give me a lot of time to exercise as much as I'd like.
You see before you at the table some bread and sausage.
I promise you my brain is getting as fat as I apparently am. I will dig in, probably cut the sausage a little bit to lay on the bread, like shingle-wise on the bread.
Well, I hope you're going to use that big brain of yours because training's going to be tough. I'm glad you made it safely.
I'm glad to be back.
I was worried the Countess made a blunder, maybe fetching you at this time. But you're here now, safe. You see she, like, kind of messes with the sausage on her plate, but she doesn't really eat it. She lets you eat for a while, and if you don't say anything... Oh, go ahead.
Have you been well?
She shakes her head. Flamekeeper Mina cannot figure out what's wrong with me, and her healing only offers some relief. It's hard getting proper clerics out here.
I mean, if I could maybe take a look. I'm not sure how much I could offer, but if I can collect some notes, maybe if and when I head back, look at some texts or research notes, maybe find if there's something equivalent to, and maybe possibly something to help it. I mean,
It's okay. It's fine. I can't burden you with such. And I'm pretty sure over the next few days you're going to be too tired to see me anyway. So, I haven't given up or anything, Torren. If you want to help, just know that time is running short for us, son.
yes, Mother.
She says low, even though there's no one around you. Lord Manfred is here, and he and the court mage, Diedrich, they've developed some kind of weapon. They're going to test it today, over the lake. But
Any?
that's only part of the reason why time runs short. Her eyes kind of tremble with worry.
What do you mean? What's happened?
Nothing yet. But tonight, we're officially going to swear our fealty to the Countess.
And to Lord Manfred.
Yes, we choose a side.
Taqren's gonna go to the war.
You see, she looks down at that. She seems to be thinking pretty long and hard. She goes, no, he won't be going to the war, but he will be helping in other ways. That eventually I hope you'll come to understand. I'm not sure when, but soon enough, there's going to be more resources in finding your father's regalia, the seal. And when that time comes, we must be ready to crown a new king or queen.
Of course. Of course.
The Countess must know, Torren. I mean, I'm serious. She must know. We'll follow through with this. I mean, it's either that or we'll be left with nothing, and there'll be no use for us.
I do understand.
Uh-oh, you're breaking up a bit.
Hello?
Hello. I can hear you fine now.
All right. Don't know why that happened just then. All right. Mother, it keep me from people.
Hold on. I want to hear what you have to say. But you're breaking up.
Oh my goodness. Hold on, I'm going to try to disconnect and Sorry,
problem.
everybody. I'm going to try to disconnect and come back.
No problem. And by the way, there's storms supposed to be coming through here tonight, so if shit goes dead, then hey, we'll pick it up next time.
Yeah, I was just looking. We're clear till about 2 a.m. up here, so.
Okay.
All right. Hello?
Hey.
Am I coming through more clearly?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and keep going. What were you going to say?
Right. Mother, the edicts don't let me fully be able to take positions or maybe be as fully aligned, but I am still a son of Grendelin, the son of the steward of Drakkenheim. I do understand, but It's hard.
Uh-oh.
I just don't know what. Is there? I'll train and try to. I'll train as hard as I can, and I'll help as much as I can.
That's reassuring to hear, son. With Taqren, with the Steelfang mercenaries, we can maybe eventually ask the keep for some of the soldiers. We can take them, and we can seize back the land that was taken from us. Those flats in the mines north of Drakkenheim. From what I understand, the spy master said that Cecilia von Kessel, she gave the title to the land to some elven family with ties and drains. But I mean, they're clearing out the land to build something, nobody knows what. Without land, or that seal, she just sighs heavily. Just know, no matter what happens, I just don't want you and Taqren to have nothing. Your father and I, we had nothing. I mean, your father became the royal steward because he worked hard to do what the king could not, and even though I have weak elven blood, and I was abandoned when I was young, I still gave my blood to Drakkenheim as a knight in ways that others could not. We just can't have some rock falling from the sky take it all away. We deserve power. We earned it. So it's good to hear that you'll swear fealty to the Countess and finish your time at the academy, and then she just kind of stops herself as she's going to say something and skips over it. Then you'll make sure that all of this wasn't for nothing.
Of course.
If there's not anything else you would like to say, we're going to move on to the afternoon.
All right.
All right. Let's close out of some of these images here. There we go. Now, this is more of a scene than RP moment, but if you wish to do something, just stop me, Torren, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
The entire keep has congregated this afternoon onto the castle's extensive stone patio that overlooks the glassy waters of Lake Dray. Here we go. A single sizable warship sits out on the waters, creating gentle waves. Earlier, you watched the crew of the ship anchor the boat in the middle of the lake and evacuate the ship in a rowboat. Strange indeed. You and your mother and just about everyone else in the keep watch crews of locals use cranes mounted on the castle towers to lift a strange weapon onto a battlement that overlooks the lake. The weapon kind of looks like this. It's easily 10 feet tall, made of steel and plated with and some kind of brassy colored alloy. Hydraulics are fitted on its 4 pincher-like legs, and various bundles of tubes and wiring can be seen at nodes and joints on this weapon. The top of the weapon is kind of fixed on a swivel. And the unit is fixed with industrial controls and slots filled with purple crystals. Protruding from the top unit are twin metallic rods steaming with energy. It looks intimidating and otherworldly. The weapon now sits on a battlement about 2 stories higher than your position. After some setup, you see him. Lord Manfred von Kessel emerges onto the battlement. He's dressed in half plate that has extra layers of studded leather over it. Under his arm is a helm that has a glass visor fixed on it. And where the mouthpiece would be is a kind of canister module. It's like a weird medieval steampunk tech helm. He waves down to the patio, and the people on the patio wave back. There's some hushed, nervous chatter around you. Manfred puts on the helm and some thick rubber gloves. Then goes to the back of the weapon. There looks to be foot mounts he can step into. He helms the weapon, and you can hear, like, this thing come to life. Octarine energy begins to glow from the slotted crystals. The machine foments with energy. You can smell this sour alchemical stench even from your distance. And then, as you just heard, a massive bolt of lightning, purple in hue, erupts from the forks on the weapon. It's so bright and fast you can barely see it, and a few seconds later, you then feel a concussive force slam into you, and you feel static energy flow over your body, making your hair stand on end. The crowd on the patio staggers in surprise. Now, Jesus Christ, that was loud. The ship on the water explodes with a deafening force. Parts of the hull goes flying 20, 30 feet into the air. An expanding bubble of kinetic energy ripples out across the water as it hits everyone on the patio with a strong gust. People yell in surprise. Locals watching from the edge of the lake, they just scatter. It takes a minute to gather your wits, you and everyone on the patio. And then there's that ringing in your ears. You look up to the battlement and see Manfred getting off of the weapon. He stands triumphantly, looking in the direction of the crowd. He takes off the helm, and even from this distance, you can see an adrenaline-filled smile on his face. He bursts out in chuckles and kind of yells, "Woo! Ha ha ha! For Drakkenheim!" He shouts down to you all, and people begin to awkwardly slow clap and echo his words. As you look around, taking in the temperature of the crowd, you notice him standing in the shadowed doorway that leads back into the keep. He's wearing a faded green and brown soldier's outfit, heavy sword fixed at his side, strong jaw under a thick mustache and beard, shoulder-length graying brown hair, wind-burned, pockmarked face, and smoldering dark brown eyes. And lastly, a shiny metal badge on his breast. It's the Lord Commander. He neither claps, speaks, nor shouts. He simply takes a swig from a metal flask, glares at the weapon a bit longer, then he disappears back inside of the keep. Now, dinner. Let's see. Dinner's in the main dining hall this evening, as Lord Manfred von Kessel's here with his extended family and loyal subjects and friends. From what you understand, they all traveled by train to the small city of Friedmarkt, then ferried up the Glitterwash River to Kesselholm, this weapon in tow. Long tables made from the hardiest wood of Kesselholm's forest are stacked with all types of food. With much effort, the weapon shot from the battlement in the afternoon has been placed in the center of the dining hall, and the tables are positioned in a rectangular kind of form around the thing. The rest of this hall is decorated with various collectibles. You do note, mounted on the wall is a battered but clean shield and set of plate armor with the insignia of the Silver Order on it. The shield is gold inlaid with the number 41, and it catches your eye, Torren. Now, here's a roster of who is here kind of at this party. Get my windows right. The Countess Constance Klein Kessel is here. She's a voluptuous woman who appears to be in her late 40s, and she has gleaming emerald eyes, crimson red lips, and a flush round face and a small pointed nose. Her jet black hair is tied up into braids and woven into an intricate headpiece, set with pearls. She wears a scarlet gown and is dripping with jewelry. Her painted fingernails are sharpened into points. You haven't seen her since you returned to Kesselholm, and she wasn't at the weapon demonstration. She has sat the entire evening at the Lord's table next to Manfred von Kessel. She seems bored of the whole experience. Her food is cold and untouched, but several empty wine glasses linger by. Now, hovering next to her chair is a weird court mage, Diedrich Moors. That's the art they got for this guy, so don't blame me. Diedrich occasionally whispers something in the Countess's ear. His and the Countess's eyes track Manfred von Kessel as he moves around the dining hall a bit drunk, talking with a lot of bravado to the few remaining family members and associates that have not retired as of yet. Then, of course, there's Manfred von Kessel, even though this picture shows both of them. He still wears this modified armor he had on earlier that day, and he has long, dirty blonde hair, fair blue eyes, a prominent nose. He has to be in his late 20s at this time. He definitely carries himself like royalty, a gentleman in his manners, but his gaze kind of demands respect and deference. Right now, he's flushed with wine, carrying a bottle, and essentially reassuring any and everyone that the Civil War will be won with this new weapon. It's a night of groveling for just about anyone he's interacting with. Next, there is Rickard Steelfang. put him here. He's a massive man, nearly 7 feet tall, with broad tree trunk arms, a barrel chest, and a large pot belly. He has a mane of long red unkempt hair with a beard to match. He wears animal furs and a thick brown leather belt that holds up several daggers and 2 large axes. It looks like he just arrived pretty late into this dinner. Everyone's retiring. And of course, you know he's the commander of the Steel Fang mercenaries. With him is another man. Put him up here. And then, of course, there is your brother, Taqren. It looks like Taqren, this man, and Rickard Steelfang have all arrived together. Let's see here. There we go. It looks like they just probably got back from the wilds. All of them are still dressed in furs. Next, sitting in a corner, away from the glow of the chandeliers, are 2 people. One is the Lord Commander, with an old metal flask before him. He just glares at the weapon, lost in his thoughts, and occasionally taking a drink. Next to the Lord Commander is someone you haven't seen before. Go ahead and put the Lord Commander up here. Running out of space. And here's the woman you have not seen before. There we go. It's good enough. She's dressed a bit more fashionably, but still all traveling clothes. She does sport an armband that has the Von Kessel coat of arms, and she has dark hair and a loose ponytail, soft features, but large, severe eyes. It's hard to tell her age, maybe mid-30s. She seems to be talking to the Lord Commander about something, but you're not sure if he's listening at all. Then, of course, lastly, you sit with your mother at one of these tables. She has barely eaten any of her food. She uses the end of the scarf around her neck to dab her forehead, and she looks a bit feverish. Of course, the weapon dominates the center of this room, and maybe you idly thumb at the ring on your finger that Master Mage Mathers Matherland gave you. So, for this part here, we're only going to cover 2 interactions here. I'll let you decide which ones. And, of course, the weapon if you so choose. I know there's a bit of chance of metagaming here, but that's kind of what this is for in its own way. See how the past affects the future. So sitting here at this late dinner, weapon in the middle, all these people around you, what do you do? Give me 2 people you approach, and let me know if you ever use that ring.
Right. So just to go over for my own sake real quick, the group right now, there's the weapon in the middle. There's my mother next to me.
Yep.
There is Countess Kleinkessel and Diedrich Moors.
Yep.
Manfred off by himself.
Uh-huh.
Rickard, Steelfang, Herrick Klossner, and my brother in a group. Yep. And then the Lord Commander and a woman I've never interacted with also.
Correct.
Okay. I would probably go over to... Yeah, I'd say first I would probably go over to... jeez. This is hard. I would probably go over to Rickard, Herrick, and my brother.
Okay. I've figured as much.
Yeah.
You approach Rickard and his companion and your brother. Rickard kind of gives a snort, almost a laughter as you walk up to them. Enjoying yourself tonight, my lord?
But not as much. I've been gone for too long. It seems this atmosphere doesn't suit. It's rarely suiting me anymore.
Don't worry. Tomorrow we'll begin your training to become a true Kesselman. You'll miss the woods. I promise it. I'm gonna see if you're worth my time.
I'd hate to disappoint.
Your brother's disappointed me enough. You see, he looks at Taqren, and the guy next to him, this Herrick Klausner, gives a short laugh and kind of backhands Taqren in his belly, and Taqren kind of doubles over in surprise, not like hurt. Herrick says, I can't believe we're still taking the help on a nice trip. Maybe you'll get to do the honors, Taqren. Huh?
Trip. You got...
Sorry, you coming in and out? You're just about to say
I said a trip.
Rickard, Herrick look at you. Then Herrick goes, sorry, mate. Steel Fang business. Rickard pipes in and goes, you'll have your chance to prove yourself, Lord Grindel, I promise. It's either that or you see he, bends down into your face. Or eating from the dog pills outside, I imagine.
Right. So, what's your thoughts on this thing?
You see, Rickard looks at the weapon. Well, it will make the cleanup job after the war's over a lot quicker. That for certain. Maybe more mops and buckets for some blood than carts and wagons. Is that something you want to use, Mage Boy?
I'm not sure I do, no.
You see Taqren kind of adjusts himself. He looks a little bit annoyed and embarrassed. He goes, don't mind them or that weapon. Look, I just can't wait to see you on the training ground. I've learned a lot since you've been gone. Some revenge from when we were younger.
We'll see if you can keep up.
Oh, maybe we can put some bets on it. You see Rickard goes, 2 toddlers in a mud.
Oh, don't act like you wouldn't enjoy watching the fight.
Now maybe if Taqren here breaks your neck, that would be interesting to see. He doesn't have the guts, though. He's not a Kesselman yet. At any time you want to go to talk to somebody else, go ahead and do such, because we need to get moving.
Yeah. Yeah, I would try and talk, I suppose, to Manfred von Kessel if I can.
Oh, you go talk to Manfred? Okay.
Yeah.
You tell your brother you'll get back to him later. You're gonna be here for a while training anyway. But you head over to Manfred, who's just said goodbye to the last of his family, and right now the only people in the room are you guys, who I've listed out. He does a double take and he looks you up and down. What do we have here? What's your name again, young man?
I am Torren of House Grendel, eldest son
yes.
of Olivier and Vargas.
That's right, the Grendels. I mean, my brother mentioned your father here and there. What is it exactly he did again?
My father was the steward under the king.
Ah, okay. I see. Well, not much of that going on here.
Unfortunately, no. Speaking of what's going on here, that was quite the demonstration this afternoon.
His eyes light up. Was it not?
Yep.
It was glorious.
Mm-hmm.
We all have a bright future ahead of us, young lord.
Indeed.
There's another one under development right now. And then maybe we'll put a few more out there. Toadsfell. If Dransman doesn't comply, maybe we'll take a few weapons there too. And then we'll figure out what to do about Drakkenheim. You know, maybe we'll build a whole new castle. And you can be the steward. Would you like that? To work under me?
Mayhaps it would certainly be discussing within the family. With the edicts, my position is as tenuous as one in my position can be in.
Tenuous indeed.
You said multiple. How is it? This creation seems so unique, even for someone trying to study and re-study as I do. It seems unlikely that I'd be able to develop even more than one.
I see. You have the brain of a steward, always thinking ahead. The court mage Dietrich there is quite a genius. I'm glad he decided to come back home to Kesselholm here instead of stay at the academy. Maybe like yourself. But we're figuring out ways to go ahead and accelerate the manufacturing of these machines. He says he does a double take. And I pointed this out at the beginning, but I'm going to go ahead and now lay on to it. Well, look at that. You see he points at your hand where you have this ring. Mageborn. I mean, that's probably why I don't recognize you. You've been away reading books and learning weird movements.
As I said, my position is tenuous. But with everything that's going on, I was called back to offer what I can. The Grendel family certainly has their own vested interests and loyalties to try and retake our lands and the lands of Drakkenheim.
Very motivated statements. I like that, young lord. You're ready to go to the front lines already, I see.
In a bit, I certainly need to help some things back at the estate and build some resources before heading out, but it certainly seems to be in the stars.
He looks at your hand, and he looks at you. Can I have your ring, Torren? A gift to remember you by, I suppose?
There's a gift to remember me by. There are certainly things I can offer, but it's one, unfortunately, was given to me by the Academy. I can't just give it away. It is a sign of my skill and the time I've put into my work.
Do you see he gonna raise his eyebrows and his smile drops? What if I just take it?
I mean, at that point, you can.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking, lad. I wouldn't take your ring. He just gives you a strong pat on the shoulder.
Of course.
These Mageborn, they just drain all the humor from you, don't they, down at the academy? I mean, what would I need with your trinket? I'm a kind king.
Of course. But as I was saying, you are Lord Manfred von Kessel. Is there not anything you cannot take? Should you require it, I'm sure you can get it quite easily. As such, I'm here to help you, my lord. I am here to hide nothing.
Good to hear it. You see that he's not really evaluating you any further, as he looks to be feeling pretty good about himself at the moment.
Yeah.
You see he turns and looks around. Then he goes, Lord Commander. You see he begins walking up to their table. And the commander sits zoned out and says nothing. Manfred, after a moment, kind of sighs, annoyed, and bends down to his level, like kind of is leveling his eyes with him. Hello? Anyone home? And the commander barely shifts his eyes in Manfred's direction. Manfred stands up annoyed. He pours wine from the bottle that's in one hand into a glass in the other. You missed the demonstration this afternoon. Considering you're, leading our war effort, I figure you would be there. And after a moment, grimly, barely audible, you hear, I saw it, my lord. Manfred says, and what did you think? Ela sighs heavily. I think it'll kill a lot of our countrymen, my lord. Manfred thinks for a moment. Then he says pointedly, they are not our countrymen, Elis. They've abandoned the country for usurper. I feel like we've had this conversation before. And Elis says, we have, my lord. Countess Constance pipes in and goes, Manfred, can we? But then Manfred cuts her off. Let the king and his commander figure this out. Looks at Elis. Aren't you tired of failing your country? You couldn't protect the king. You burned through half of the remaining army trying to reclaim Drakkenheim. And now an opportunity to follow through as the hero. What I get back right now is it's a little bit of bitching and moaning about countrymen. There's no countrymen right now, Elis. Make it make sense. Should I rip that badge off your chest and give it to Rickard here? The commander just stares darkly at Manfred. You hear Rickard kind of snort and laugh a bit. The lady sitting next to him goes, my lord, if we've created this, then who's to say Lady Cecilia isn't? And Manfred butts in. No one asked you, Maggie. If Cecilia has built something similar, then, I wonder where she got the idea from. Maybe a spy master whose head I should have collected years ago? You see, the lady just looks away, shaking her head. Manfred continues. Give me a report, Maggie. Find any of the regalia yet? Where's the crown, the crest, the phylactery, the seal? Where are they, Maggie? The lady says, Drakkenheim is toxic, my lord. It's hard to navigate, but I've made some alliances with local gangs, and he butts in. So nothing. You've done nothing. Maybe if you two can keep your clothes on, you'd actually get something done around here. Rickard snickers. Oh, Manfred says, that's right. You think I didn't know? I, the king, is the only one getting shit done around here. You see, he points at the weapon with his bottle. While my Lord Commander and the Spy Master, and before he finished saying it, you then see, it almost seems like an instant, the Countess glides next to Manfred. A hand comes up to his yapping mouth and pulls his face to hers as she gives him a big old sultry kiss. Manfred freezes, then just seems to melt in her arms. After a moment, she gently pulls back from him. He just kind of stares at her, almost love-drunk. You've had a bit too much to drink, my lord. Go to your chambers and wait for me. Manfred drops the wine bottle on the ground and it shatters. Manfred then says, of course. And then he staggers away. Herrick goes over and says, I'll make sure the Lord gets to his chambers, and proceeds to guide Manfred out of the dining hall. Countess, after he's gone, goes, good riddance. She scoffs and looks at Rickard. Lock up the dining hall. Then she looks at Diedrich. Make sure we're not heard. The lady that Manfred was just screaming at, sitting next to the Lord Commander, goes, don't you think we should wait till his family is gone? There could be spies. The Countess, a sinister kind of commanding look comes over her. Extraordinary times calls for extraordinary measures, Magdalena. Plus, I think I just kept your head on your neck for a few more days. You're welcome. She looks at everyone with her emerald eyes. You can smell her perfume, Torren. Now listen to me. We need to commit to this now. He only can be controlled for so long. Like I've asked you all before, I'm ready to turn a page in this chapter. Are you? And if the answer's no, then you need to leave now. It's quiet for quite some time, but nobody leaves. Good. The Kleinkassel family will find a suitable replacement. Until then, she turns and saunters over to your mother. Until then, who do you serve? Weakly, your mother looks at you, Torren, then your brother. There is almost a pleading look in her eyes. She then shakily gets to the ground, holds her hands bound behind her back like she's shackled in a performative pose, and then looks up at the Countess and says, I pledge my honor and my blood to you, Countess Constance Kleinkassel. After a long look down at your mother, the Countess says, I accept. Rise, Lady Grindel of Kesselholm Keep. She then turns to Taqren. Your brother looks nervous, but he immediately comes over to her. He helps your mother up, then assumes the same position and offers his honor and blood. Good boy. I accept, she says. The Countess then looks at you, Torren. What do you do?
Torren will go over to where his brother and his mother is. And kneeling, he will say, So long as I bear the name of House Grendel, I will serve the interests of House Kleinkessel and the Countess of and you, Countess Constance.
She looks down at you. She takes a long fingernail and moves a bit of hair from your forehead. You and your brother are gonna save us all. I accept. Torren Grendel of Castle. The Countess then turns to Magdalena, and after a moment of hesitation, she prostrates herself before the Countess and states her allegiance, but she doesn't look happy about it. Then finally, the Countess looks at the Lord Commander and says, Commander Drexel? Lord Commander Elis Drexel ever so slightly turns his head in her direction. And that's where we'll end this lore drop. Only Torren knows exactly what Elis said, but I will send that to him. But let's go ahead and get on our map and get rolling here.
Also,
All right.
Fred,
Yes.
I didn't want to interrupt because it was so interesting, but in the little private channel, I sent you a message.
Oh. Okay, let's see. Got it. Oh, okay. All right, got it.
Just to make sure that's how it works. Right?
Understood. Okay. Anyway, let's head over here really quick. I know we are at Shepherd's Gate, just about to go to the garrison, but let's go ahead and just orient ourselves as we are at number 5, and we're going to be heading over to 9. And this is what, I'll send this to you, Torren, what the commander said.
Here at the class.
What are you talking about? Torren's by himself. There's no class yet.
I know. It's not even
All
Alice,
right.
it's just me as a player wanting to know all of it.
I mean, to be fair, I that so I completely understand. Share with me everything.
Okay, so we are back at Shepherd's Gate. And now I gotta clear my window of all these images. Okay. Get that out of here. Alright, so we know the mission currently is that you guys are going to the garrison, apparently, to, I guess, speak with the Lord Commander. And, we'll see what you guys have to say to him. And let's go over here. So the party sizes up Shepherd's Gate once more. And let's see here. And here's a nice view, I would say, from the interior Shepherd's Gate. As you look at the gate and the soldiers around, you find the eyes of grim hooded lanterns giving you all wary glares back. Then all of you begin following Taqren deeper into the city, towards this large castle building. You can barely see through the haze, several blocks down. The streets are filled with trash. Most of it looks like broken wagons, crates, old stuff used by the hooded lanterns, then abandoned or repurposed into barricades, which are still down the length of this street. Several of the buildings close to the interior of the gate look to be occupied by the hooded lanterns. And you can see lantern glow coming from these buildings. You see one lady with a shaved head sitting on a broken attic window, heavy crossbow in her lap, her watching you guys go by. Blinking. Here we
He
go.
waves at her.
As you can imagine, she does not wave back.
That's okay. I'll keep waving until we're like.
You do a few double takes. Hey, I'll see you there.
I see you. I know you waved when I wasn't looking.
Gotta give her the old finger guns, Tino.
Now, the architecture of the inner city changes too. And I want to give a nice little lay of the land. That droning is a bit more audible here. Most of the buildings inside the inner city, at least the part you're on, or the street, seem to be made of sturdy brick meant to last generations. Larger buildings that probably serve some social or government function are decorated in Gothic aesthetic that just radiates power and the history of the city, even in its current state. These buildings have pointed, elegant arches, stained glass windows, soaring spires and towers that keep getting taller and taller deep into the city. Pollution-covered statues of angels are perched on building corners, their broken arms raised to the skies as if to ask the heavens, why have they forsaken this city? On your walk, you pass at least one 17-foot-tall bronze statue at an intersection. Without constant upkeep, the statue is a dismal jade color and covered in scum. The statue is of an stately-looking man in royal garb, or king's garb. He has a thick beard and shoulder-length hair under a decorated crown. There is a distinct, severe look in his eyes, as if the creator was trying to communicate something about this man. Maybe his temperament. The statue kind of looks something like this. Alice, Torren, Kolabadi, you guys roll me an insight. Roll me a group insight.
Alrighty.
For me.
Man. I'm going to use my inspiration on this.
Okay.
So I'll just roll it again.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. You three know that this is the statue of Jacob II von Draken, king of the 5th dynasty of the von Draken rulers, 4 or so generations removed from the infamous Vladimir von Draken, about 400-something years ago from today. You learned this from the Black Books, written by an anonymous cleric of Order 41. He was said to have the Von Draken curse, a behavior pattern that seems to include paranoia and aggression, delusions of grandeur. The people feared him. Apparently, he believed his younger brother, Elliot von Draken, conspired against him and challenged him to a duel. Elliot slayed the king. Elliot was seen as a nice and more level-headed, so Jacob II wasn't missed much. But Elliot could not take the crown, though, as he was mage-born, and the church protested his ascension. Elliot wisely gave the crown to the middle child, their sister, Carmon von Draken. Little did Elliot know, 2 generations later, this gifting of the crown to his sister would spawn a civil war that would set the stage for the collapse of the von Draken family line. Torren, you would know the inner city has dozens of these statues dedicated to the original ruling family. Many have placards on their base explaining the importance to the city's history. Along the way to the garrison, Taqren makes some short conversation with you all, kind of opening himself up to some questions. But he walks next to you, Torren, and he says it so everybody can hear it. So, your squad here, they've been helping you survive?
Absolutely. I probably wouldn't have been able to get this far without their help. This is certainly a very perilous place.
Taqren nods and turns around and begins walking backwards, facing the rest of you guys. Anything I should know about you all? I mean, like, you're working for anyone else out here? The adventure seemed pretty quick about, trying to make some coin. For spying and stuff, you know?
Yeah, we need coin to live, lad.
I understand that. What would you do for some coin? Just about anything? What won't you do? That's a better question. He says, looking at you, Loey.
Betray my kin.
How about you? Looks at you, Kolobati. What won't you do for coin?
Well, definitely wouldn't betray my people or my kin.
He points at you, Tinu.
A lot of things.
Oh, come on. Would you eat your own poo?
That's gross.
I'm just saying. You can tell he's being lighthearted about it.
Definitely not you.
Well, there you go.
Looks at him like he's weird. Torren, your brother's weird.
He's not weird, he's just obnoxious.
Give you
Yes.
Tinu. These are soldiers' jokes.
There you go.
Tell him the worst thing you would do. That's probably the easiest.
I wouldn't though.
You would do
With
anything for money? For coin?
No, I wouldn't do anything for that.
Then
I
come
would-
on,
I would
entertain
rather
me.
No, I mean, coin's not important to me in that way.
I see. She's one of those religious types? Looks at you, Torren.
No,
Actual-
I'm not. Don't answer
kind of-
me, Torren.
All right.
Very well.
I
Body's
just
just
have
trying to
good
keep.
morals. Okay, sorry, go, Bati.
Yeah, Body's just stepping back to slip her arm around Tinu's shoulders.
I, too, have morals, lady.
Tina's
Speak-
like pouting.
Speaking of ladies, how about you? Looks at you, Alice.
What wouldn't I do for coin?
Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't eat my own shit.
He laughs at that. Me neither. We have something in common. See, I'm not all bad.
Nah, not at all.
Oh, I'm not letting you away from this, though. You didn't answer.
I did.
Oh, come on. That was a joke.
It wasn't. Oh, I thought we were just being lighthearted here. You want serious answers, or so you were
I
just
want-
being nice to Tinu, right?
I want an interesting answer.
Well, I mean, technically, and she'll kind of look over at Louis and look over at Torren. Did I kill my kin for money? We didn't get paid, did we?
Nope.
I mean,
That weren't your kin either.
Close enough. He thought he was.
yeah.
That's his opinion.
Hmm.
You see, he adjusts the strap on his backpack and he goes, "So it's true. You did slay a knight of Caspia."
Yes.
He's
Yep.
quiet for a long time about that.
She's not shying away. She's looking right at him.
Ansem told the commander as soon as he got here. He shakes his head. How about you? You see he's hesitating where he's not sure what to call you, Ron, as he looks at you.
His
What?
his name is Ron.
Ron. Sorry. You're first.
Well, I would eat my own shit for money. But I probably wouldn't rob a train for money.
You see his smile drops for a second. Me neither.
Ron looks at him inquisitively.
He turns around and begins to walk, looking forward. We're gonna go to the garrison if you guys don't have anything you want to ask this guy or to say anything to him.
You asked all of us.
I probably just broke that, sorry.
Well, he doesn't turn to look at you, but he says, well, I wouldn't betray my kin. He looks at you, Torren.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't betray my house.
Not for a single copper.
That's good then.
All right. Does anybody want to ask this guy or say anything more to him or I don't want to speed run you guys, but you know, I'm like, if you want to say something, I'm just telling you this is the moment, you know.
Tinu has another question, but I'll wait for everybody to go first.
Hey, Taqren.
Yeah.
We're gonna meet your Lord Commander, aye?
Yeah.
What you make of Alice or Elias or whatever he's called?
Elis.
Elias. There you go.
Well, he kind of walks and talks in thought. It's a crapshoot these days. I mean, he's always been kind of depressing, but some days he's better than others. Those days are getting far and few between as supplies get low. Then he says, and he doesn't even sound really convinced about this, but he'll say, you know, I mean, the soldiers respect him enough, though. There's a nice lord's room in the garrison, but he sleeps with the rest of the soldiers in the stockade. I mean, he eats the same rations we do. For serious missions, he's the first one out front fighting with the others. I mean, there's a lot to be afraid of out here, but the Lord Commander, I've never seen him afraid of anything. And I think that kind of helps everyone keeps their wits about them. But like I said, you know, it's a crapshoot. I've seen him gut deserters. I saw him beat men and women to a pulp who he thought disrespected our mission. After a long moment, he looks at you, Torren. He goes, I think he plans on dying out here.
I would like to say that surprised me, but
I mean, which isn't a mission I signed up for. We need stability, not a war hero one day and the next day, you know, damn it all, hell, you know? Magdalena was able to keep the worst of it under control, but since she's been gone, the guys have really been getting it from him. And
Who the hell is Magdalena?
looks back at you all, goes, oh, well, looks at you, Torren, as you know her, or you've seen her.
she was the spy master, one of the inner circle.
Oh, okay.
They,
Where'd she go? Oh, sorry.
the two of them were close when everything was going back during the initial excursions, trying to get into the city. She was trying to gather information of anything she could about Drakkenheim, but, well, I don't know much, but no one's seen her in a while.
Was she dead, you think?
I don't know. The commander doesn't talk about her. She just left one day and just never returned.
Probably one of those things we shouldn't mention then,
It would
How
be
long ago did
wise.
she leave?
It was several months back, and the connection you're trying to make here, Alice, it will line up.
No.
Did she go deeper into Drakkenheim, or did she leave? Leave?
She left.
Yeah.
Would he want to know where she went? Was she seen last?
He stops in his tracks and he turns and looks at you, Alice. You see his eyes narrow. You know?
I mean, the information I know, yes, but it's been several months.
How do you know?
Would he want to know?
I'd imagine so. But he would be asking these same questions. And you
Well,
better have a good answer.
I will have the truth and expect some answers in return.
Well,
Yes.
can't guarantee you that.
No, I know you can't.
Look, I know there's a lot of questions to ask, but temper your expectations. Even from what I remember, he wasn't the most forthcoming, and that was before a lot of things happened.
Oh, I can respect that completely.
So we also heard he likes a good hard drink. Is that true?
Yeah. Very much true. You bringing gifts?
I just
His
wanted to see
favorite
if-
is Drakkenheim moonshine, apparently.
You make moonshine out here? What, with the water from the Dran?
No, I've just heard him say it once. Not sure unless he's found some somewhere. I don't think he has any.
Pity.
I don't know if I trust a still amongst in the haze.
Well, does he not switch out like everybody else does?
No, he's always here.
How is he not crazy then?
Well, before we had the garrison, I mean, this is a little bit before my time, but everybody was stationed at Shepherd's Gate, and there'll be rotations like you would imagine. Several platoons would go out into the woods far away up near Eckerman Mill and camp out, and then come back and rotate. But once they acquired the garrison from the Garmir, we discovered that the stockade underground, the dungeons, they're deep enough to where the haze is not down there. So we have a standing group of squads that stay within the stockade below the garrison. I mean, we rotate out, occasionally. It's not the best sleep or living conditions in the world, but the commander, he's always in the city.
We saw Ansem when he had just gone back, and he didn't look too happy. So I can't imagine how the commander feels being out here and never switching out.
I mean, you may have a point, sister. I mean, but try getting him to leave. I think he thinks that he needs to be here to show everybody else that this is what it's about, fighting for the city.
Maybe I will. I'll wait till everybody else is done talking, though. The things that come out of my mouth aren't that good for the parties.
One last thing, you see he stops, kind of just for all of you stop, he goes, you see he looks at you, Torren, he goes, he doesn't know that you're here. I didn't tell him, so let's just be cool about that, or, things may go sour.
Right.
Just see what mood he's in.
course. Worst comes to worst. Don't let me drag you down. Alright?
Drag me down? You're here to lift me up. Alright? With that, he turns and begins walking, and I assume all of you do the same. I'm going to move right on here, unless you have anything to say. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real quick. Ron's gonna get up to Torren, ask him, do you mind if I press the issue with your brother later? Or is that something you would prefer to do?
You don't mind, I'll try it myself. I have a
Sounds
lot
good.
of questions to ask.
So, Taqren, you patrol the inner city much?
Yeah. I mean, I rotate between the gate and doing rounds in the inner city. Lately, we've been trying to go ahead and set up some more extensive barricades to the south towards Temple's Gate so we can build a camp a bit further in. Then, you know, there's the matter of us trying to eventually get to the clock tower.
No. Based on what I know about the Royal Family Life, you ever try to get to the old home?
Try to get to where?
The old home?
You mean where I live at?
Yes.
He looks at Torren and goes, what all did you tell them?
You don't need to ask him about that.
No.
Your name alone cements that fact.
Okay, well, no, but I would like to. If we can get the clock tower, it may be a good staging ground to get over there. It's closer to the southeast side of the castle. From what we understand, or at least I haven't seen for myself, there's some field around the clock tower. It may stop the haze.
That's certainly interesting if that's true.
Well, I'm not surprised if there is a field. I mean, Father used to spend a lot of time there. I mean, you remember, he dug up that thing from the clock tower.
Yeah.
In the attic?
I remember it.
They say that the elves made it. Or at least commissioned its design back when the Von Drakens ruled. A gift. Like a peace gift, I guess.
Peace gift.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, from what look, I haven't read a book in quite a while, guys, but from what I understand, you know, he looks at you, Kolobati, kind of goes, sorry, but, you know, Vladimir Von Draken came through and, like, wiped out everybody here. All the elves and all that stuff.
yes, he was quite genocidal.
But, excuse me, once he, I guess, died, better times came, and I guess both sides were looking for peace, and I don't know, they built the clock tower. It looks pretty cool from a distance. I haven't had a chance to get really up close. You remember, Torren? It like has this illusionary image almost of time. ticking.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's very cool. It's been a long time since I've seen that site.
All right, a last call here for any other questions. We're gonna move on.
Oh, right. Oh, letting you know, hold on. Sorry. Where is... Oh, come on, where is it? I saw,
Theo?
yeah, in Emberwood, I saw Theo. Thank you, by the way.
You saw who?
Theo. Remember the Chancellor's daughter?
Do I have
I
the
think
name
so.
wrong?
Yeah.
It's Theo, but
Yeah, Theo.
but that's not the reason why. You could just tell that you would know that both of you were really young.
Yeah.
He was like, I think I recall. But yeah, the Chancellor, I remember him. He was nice.
He was anyway. She's here with a group called Drakkenheim. She's trying to find some what's left of her father as well, I guess.
You see, he says darkly, "Good luck."
Yeah, good luck.
All right. So, the Drakkenheim Garrison. This is the image that our adventure book gave us, and it kind of looks, Oh, I forgot to show you. This was the picture of the guy on that bronze statue. Just put that in you guys' journal, that's all. And anyway. Alright. But this is the picture that we have from the book of the garrison. It looks like to be in better times, apparently. As there's lights and people milling about, and there's a little combat yard. That's our garrison. So, this is what the book has to say about the garrison. A small fortress looms over the streets, its towers jutting out above the impenetrable walls and thick iron portcullises. Several circular bastion towers topped with ballistas and several circular bastion towers topped with ballista reinforces the walls. One can make out from a distance several green-cloaked figures with crossbows manning the walls and towers. As you approach, Taqren gives a few shrill whistles and takes a small mirror out of his bag. He ignites a tinderbox and uses the glow of the fire from the tinderbox itself to reflect some light signals to these hooded lanterns on the garrison walls. As you guys get closer, some of the green lanterns outside the garrison wall shout to him. "Hey! Princess has returned! With prisoners!" And Taqren shouts back, "What did I tell you about calling me that, asshole? Watch for piss in your water skin!" And the soldiers kind of laugh.
The old spicy apple juice trick, Louis says, whispering to Addie.
Ew.
He chuckles a bit.
All right. With that, let's go ahead and take a 5-minute and come back, and we'll go ahead and keep it rolling here. Let's take like a 10 minute. Let's come back on to 10:27, and
All right.
we'll get into what you guys are gonna do here.
Okay.
All right.
Nervous.
What could go wrong?
A lot with the mouths on this party.
Oh boy.
We'll be fine. We're perfectly cordial.
I'm about to talk to him about his feelings.
Oh, no,
But
that's
I'll
good.
wait to do that until after you guys are all done. Because he's not gonna be happy.
And
mean,
how does
what's
it
new?
feel knowing your lover and possible
What's her name
partner in
again?
crime is gone and maybe dead and lost in the world? How's that make
Yeah.
you?
What was her
How does
name,
that make you
guys?
feel?
Magdalena. Her name is Magdalena.
Magdalena or
Magdalena.
Old steel Magdalena.
No, I wasn't gonna ask him about that. I was just gonna be like, oh no, I'm not gonna say that. That's too mean. Oh, thank
Oh.
you, Alice.
Oh, it is with an A. I gotta change.
Yeah.
She seemed like she was in love with him too, though, right?
Yeah, at minimum, they seemed like friends, unless you believe Constance. In which case, maybe a bit more.
But
I don't think they were married or anything.
No, that's not like.
But Taqren said that she seemed to negate his craziness a bit, which would have mean that he depended on her, probably.
Or she was mind fucking him. You know?
That too. Oh, but I don't
Was
know.
a spy
if Tinu
master.
went-
Mm-hmm.
Oh. See,
Or maybe they really were in love. Who knows?
Or both.
I'm in my Tinu mindset, and Tinu's too naive and innocent to think about that side of the things.
Nah,
I'm just
everybody
like-
here is trying to take advantage of Dina. Believe me, it's just the world.
I know, but Tina's like, but what if she left because you wouldn't switch out and you got really depressed and she couldn't deal with it anymore?
So, I missed a little bit of the very end. Did your mom, Torren, want to do something at like the mines or whatever? What was that? Was the very
So
covers.
there was a lot of land that was technically ours before all the craziness happened, and an elven family is now looking to take it for
Yeah,
themselves for a
the-
project.
Yeah, Cecilia more or less handed that land over to an elven family.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wonder which one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
It's not like that lines anybody's now.
And the plot thickens.
Wait, Nani, but was that Cecilia's land to give away?
Kind of, but not really.
Maybe. It
Yeah,
more or less depends
maybe.
on who actually takes over full rulership.
Yeah, if she wins, then absolutely.
Basically,
They both died.
so yeah. So
Yeah.
We
basically,
think. We don't have confirmation. Sorry,
Sure.
go ahead.
yeah. And unfortunately, that was royal land put on a lease, so it's kind of interesting in an interesting position of who gets it and in what way.
Yeah, who currently is in possession of the actual deeds associated
Oh.
with the land.
Oh no! It's not going to be the deed. It's whoever possesses that delirium cannon. That's the one that's going to own the land.
Wait, why?
Because it's a
I don't know, Brent. Why do people with weapons own land?
No, but I thought they weren't fighting anymore. So why would that?
Yeah, but the question is,
What?
weapons
Not
that are
the ones that
built
were made.
are always used.
Mhm.
So are you
And
saying that
those weapons are
I
probably
was-
still out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Yeah.
The picture that you're building in Coup World is that the elves are gonna use that weapon to maintain that land.
Why
Maybe.
wouldn't they? That's why they still control the land.
So like
Because they have the big guns.
like you can catch the gun runners, but what happens to all the guns that they put in the street? Like they don't automatically just
But wouldn't that
despawn.
be- Well, I don't know both sides of the story.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah, like I said-
holding the
Very
elves
true. We
to
haven't
it.
heard from Cecilia. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
from the looks of it, Manfred's is kind of a spoiled princeling a little bit.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we've got the Amethyst Academy double dealing in these weapons to both sides, so we don't know what happened to Manfred's weapons, and we don't know what happened to Cecilia's weapons.
Yep.
All right.
The elves are evil too, then.
I don't think it's inherently evil. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive. It's not
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it's not a black and white world at all politically.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of grays.
So it's not necessarily that they're evil, but if they have something that finally gained them some power, because the elves really don't have a lot of power in this world because of the edicts. I don't blame even me or Alice wouldn't blame them for holding on to what little they have.
Yeah. I don't
You
wanna
know,
be an elf
Out of
anymore.
character. Torren probably wouldn't blame them either, and it wasn't, kind of
Well,
one thing keeping their family from disintegrating.
Tinu, you're from the Elvenmire. You're not royalty. It's okay. There's differences
No, but
inside of
then
your culture.
If I was an elf and I wouldn't I be prideful that I was an elf? Like, this is just another question that Ku has to ask Tinu. Do I support this? Which side would I pick?
Oh man, that's a hard one.
That's
Well,
what I'm thinking.
You also,
about. That's
you
why I
also
was
consider the
asking.
fact that your father led pilgrimages to the Elflands.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What did you think of
like,
your father's career in that case?
So what Colin, I've actually decided on that is that we don't know anything about it because it happened when we were kids. So we don't have that information, so we don't have an opinion on it. Or at least I don't. I don't know what Colin decided. But
Now
as
I really can't wait till you meet Ghostweaver or Tinu.
Yeah, like I don't know these things, so I don't have that information. So I'm basically gaining information as we play. So I'm like,
Well,
oh,
your character,
wait.
I would say, would know your father took those pilgrimages, but like what they all entailed and all that type
Yeah,
of
no,
stuff,
that's
maybe
what I'm
not.
saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just know he took elves to the elf lands, and it's labeled elf land. So I'm thinking, oh, elf land. Like that's literally what Tinu's thinking. And then now you're telling me that as Ku, like, oh, that might be Torren's family's land. So now I'm like, wait, what?
Well, Torren's lands were his father's lands that were gifted to him essentially by his position
Mm-hmm.
in the outskirts of Drakkenheim.
Not the Isle of Skye. We're not talking about that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't.
So
thinking
so
of
these are
that.
possessions
Yeah.
of his family, not necessarily something that the elves own. They were given by one of the people vying for control of the of the country and the throne to an elven family.
In exchange for support.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, I got it now. We're on the same page now.
All right.
Yeah, of course, there's a couple of the questions surrounding that particular thing. It's like, because that I don't know if I can broach that specific question involved in that yet.
Yes. It goes deep. All right. So let's keep this train rolling. So you guys come up to the gates of the Drakkenheim Garrison, and you're gonna have to help me by kind of moving yourselves around. But you guys see that, of course, let me go here. The massive gates crank open, and inside this place,
Oh, Brent's gone country on us again.
Ooh.
Gonna be a good day, Tater.
Tater. Can't forget about good
It's a
old
new
Tater.
song. We haven't heard this song yet.
Oh, my son, Tater Tom.
As the gates open and you guys move yourselves in, let me put Taqren on the map here. Almost forgot about our boy. Let's go ahead and
But like, I don't know where we're going. I don't want to move too far.
She is
grab
gonna
him.
go wild. Oh, there's a guy.
So here is Giant Taqren. Just is that right? All right. So yes, he leads you guys in, and you're immediately hit with the energy of a rowdy tavern. As you guys walk southward through the gates, you see that to the west of you is a thick crowd of dirty cloaks, green cloaks. And these folks have created what looks to be a ring around two shirtless soldiers with dog tags wrestling. The crowd screams. You hear somebody go, "Get him, Fox! Yeah! Yeah!" There's somebody yelling for the other wrestler. "Shoulders up! Shoulders up!" Eventually, one of these guys gets slammed onto their back and the crowd goes wild. The winner beats their chest. And somebody roll me a d4.
Sure.
Oh, okay. All right. Here, chug, chug, chug. You see some guys chugging some beer. Yeah, they're doing it all. They're out here.
Tino jumps in.
Torren, you remember your mother fondly, recalling her earlier years in the Drakkenheim Guard and her talking about the wrestling matches, which is almost mandatory for any type of respect. The rest of the place is abuzz with activity, soldiers dressed in ragtag leather armor, many with cloaks around their mouths, their nose, and people move with purpose. There's ongoing repairs, as you can see the soldiers building scaffolds, reinforcing kind of cracked regions in the walls with sandbags. You hear the sharpening of blades, the sound of arrows hitting targets. You see that there's a broken ballista over here. And you see some green cloaks that have a more engineering mind crawling over it, trying to fix it. A forge sits in the southwest corner, and you can feel the heat and the smell of the ore. Screams of agony come from what looks to be a stable here that has been converted into an infirmary. You even think you see some teenagers that may look a tad bit too young for war, practicing with weapons, indicating the desperation here. You smell tobacco, cheap ale, dirty men and women, and the tinge of the haze. Where Camp Dawn was nice and orderly, this place is dirty and chaotic, and it's almost dizzying as you see people move with purpose. You guys file in, and when you guys come in, the gate closes behind you guys, sealing you into this place. And it looks like there is 3 to 4 stories. Obviously, there's multiple levels to this map, where you see people patrolling the walls. There are towers that people are coming in out of, and one massive tower to the northwest. As you guys kind of gain your bearings, and as you walk through, almost like your first day in Emberwood, where people are just kind of gazing at you, sizing you up, you get that from almost everybody here. You see some folks hanging on the rooftops of the infirmary, looking down at you, talking with each other, but it is a garrison. Taqren comes in and, he gives a few daps up to some people he seems to know. They ask him, what's the circus with you? But he just pushes them off. He then gets you all to kind of crowd around the side of the infirmary over here. And he goes, I'm gonna go see what the commander's up to. Just sit tight.
All right.
And you see he disappears into the throngs of people. And he leaves you guys just to hang out. This person here looks like a familiar face, but I'll let you decide where you've seen her from. There's a couple other people that have actual, real pictures of themselves, you can just say they stand out and look a bit more interesting. All right. Is there anything you guys want to plan, concoct, talk about while you guys stand here awkwardly inside of the Drakkenheim Garrison?
Can you touch on Alice's cloak jacket? Alice. So when we were walking, and Taqren said that guy, the commander, likes alcohol, I still have you one of the sealed skins of alcohol we got from Taco Down Road. Do you want that to try to like get him to be nice?
It might come in handy, but you should hold on to it. But it's good to know that you have it.
Okay. Oh, I would let Torren know too. And then I would also say, don't forget I gave you the perfume too, so that we smell nice.
You smell good.
It gives
Yeah.
us- It gives us advantage.
I was gonna smile at you. She's like, we'll see if I need it. I kind of like just having it.
Okay.
Do you want it back?
Oh no, that that was for you.
All right. Anything else, you guys? I'm just giving you guys an opportunity to get your logic streams together.
Yeah.
We're all good.
You said that one that we recognize.
Yeah.
Is there a history check or something we can
Yeah,
roll
roll me an
to
insight.
see? Okay. Because I don't have their name written down in my notes. Otherwise, I would. Oh, great. Good job, Alice. Alice doesn't remember them. Great.
This half-orc female here, which controls C, I can show you guys. There we go. She looks at you guys with a bit of disdain.
Timmy waves at her. Hi.
She like bumps the shoulder of a guy next to her, some dude with a buzz cut and kind of a 5 o'clock shadow. And she like whispers in his ear and points at you, Tinu. And the guy looks at you and just like kind of laughs and goes back to watching the guys fight.
Does anybody else remember that face? I'll
Yeah,
figure out.
I certainly do.
Something?
Aren't she one of the ones from the watchtower?
She was,
I'm not surprised you don't remember. It's so long ago, but she's
Yeah,
there.
I think I remember her. So
no, I remember her. She was one of the ones that were trying to tie up that group of bugbears.
True. Yes.
The ones that when we go around shot at us, even though we were trying to talk her down. So
Oh,
Is she the one I shot?
yeah, no, she was the
No,
one.
you shot at Captain
Oh, I shot at the
Hylash.
captain. That's right. Okay.
We shot at the captain. The orc was the trigger finger that started basically yelling us down as soon as we showed up.
Oh no! I hit the commander. I didn't
Okay,
just
no.
shoot at her.
True.
I got her.
True.
Yeah, no, that is true.
Yeah.
But this was the. But yeah, out of character, she was the one who basically was riling up all the hooded lanterns when right when we showed up. Like she was the aggressive one.
Did Torren remind Alice of that?
No, because he doesn't want. Because he also knows because he knows Alice well enough at this point.
Ask who out of character. Joke's on her because we let those bugbears go. Meh.
True, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Would Tina go talk to them? Probably not.
After a moment, you hear ah, like some screams from inside the stable, and then the door opens, and you see a couple guys. I'm not going to put them on the map, but they come out with what looks to be a stretcher, and it looks to be a dead body on the stretcher. And they go to the south gate, and they open the gate, and then you see they disappear.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That will make Tina. Can I peek inside, Brett?
Yeah,
Cast
sure.
Spare the Dying on anybody in there?
Okay, you got. All right, well, you go to the door and you catch it before it shuts. And inside, it looks like the stable areas for the horses have been converted into a kind of bedding area. And there's some looks to be hooded lanterns inside, agonizing, groaning on their side. It smells awful in here. Vomit, urine, all the bad stuff. And you can see that they have lesions on their neck, face. You see one guy has a tentacle. His whole hand looks to be just a mess of tentacles, and the tentacles are kind of wrapped up. They look feverish and sick, and it looks to be 2 commoners in here, kind of like desperately moving around, tending to them. It's contamination all over this place.
Yeah, I see the tentacles and I back out. Because I'm with the party, so I don't want my party to get contaminated. But if there's anybody that looks like... Do I want to touch them? Yeah, Tinu would touch them. If there's anybody that looks like they're gonna die, I would walk over and quickly cast Spare the Dying on them.
Nobody looks like they're gonna die in here, but people look really sick. You imagine curing one of them would probably help.
Let me check my spell slots.
Like, nah, sorry, I don't got it for you this time, guys.
No, I will do it. I will do it.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Before people can even tell you to get out, you kind of notice this one hooded lantern sitting at the edge of the bed. He's almost like in a daze. You touch his shoulder, and you see some of his lesions begin to heal up. And he kind of gasps, and he looks at you.
Of course, I roll max healing.
On the NPC, on the...
Yeah.
Fuck this game.
He looks at you and goes, oh. Saint Targa, is that you?
No. It's not. Don't tell anybody.
He just... Thank you. What's your name?
Elendil.
Praise Elendil, Saint Elendil! And you shut the door as he does his thing.
Tinu kind of like, she does that thing where you kind of bounce back and forth like, oh shit, I might have just did something bad. And then she runs back to the party like, I didn't do anything. Hi guys.
What do you thought about me being gone? I was here the entire time with you guys.
Alright. At this moment, unless anybody else does anything, Taqren returns. And you see he has not a good look on his face. He goes, he's not in a good mood. Let's just put it that way. Follow me. He's down in the stockades in his room. And then he will lead you guys northward, and I'm not going to move everybody. But, you know, fine. I think I can grab everybody here without any issue. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, I had everybody. Okay, there we go. Hold on a second. There we go. All right.
This building is that building where you said they found a thing where it goes underground, where the haze doesn't go to. Is that where we're going? Like underground to his room?
Taqren told you that the stockade seems to be deep enough underground to where they can get rest. You did hear earlier, though, before, adventurers telling you that there are pockets in the sewers that may be deep enough to where you could rest, but they're few and far between. And actually, I'm gonna go to the name of the tomb layer. You come into this room, and yes, you see sitting in here is good old Captain Rain Highlash, and a couple other looks to be maybe higher ranking green cloaks. Across the table is a massive map of Drakkenheim, with little figurines and buildings, one for the castle, a bunch for the gates, all splayed out on this desk. You see Highlash look at you guys, but her eyes lingers on Alice.
Uh-huh. Alice just looked right back at her.
She looks at Taqren and goes, "If you need help, princess, let me know." You see Taqren just goes, he just gives her kind of like a, yeah, sure, look. And just grumbles as he does not like this nickname at all. You're then led down a flight of steps here, right here, that eventually turns into a circular spiral staircase. It gets colder, darker, and the air seems to clean up a bit. Before you hear a bunch of echoing and reverb kind of coming from what is the stockade. And I'm going to move everybody there. I'm going to put everybody down right here real quick. And so there's like a shit ton of floors to this place. Okay, let's grab everybody. And let's go right here. Ping everybody over here. There you go. And the noise of the rowdy, yay! And you know, goes down.
No, I can't see. Oh, there we are. Okay.
Yes.
Because we can still see through Taqren's token, by the way, Brent, just so you know.
You can see through it?
We could. I could see
that's
through
fine.
his stuff. Okay.
It's okay. You get led down to a dank chamber. Yes?
It's black for me now.
Okay. Hold on 1 second here.
I'm sorry.
It might take a second to load. A lot of,
Yeah, this map has a lot of assets, unfortunately. So they're.
Well, I saw it.
Yeah, I know. I was having lag on my
deleted
scroll
it.
bar for this place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
guys.
Never mind. I see it.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
This port seems to be easier.
exactly. Sorry, but that's the. I wanted to get the high quality maps, so
Yeah.
I use these here. Because that's one thing is that they don't. The original maps does not do this place justice, but thank everybody else out on the Reddit Drakkenheim, because you guys are awesome. There's so many awesome assets there. But let me grab. I grab Taqren. Oh, there he is. I got him. Let's go ahead and grab him. This place is as you imagine. It's a stockade. It is a prison. It is a dungeon. And apparently it's been converted into living quarters for the Hooded Lanterns. It's dark down here. There's lanterns and torches, which of course light the way. Little concept image we have. Everything seems to echo. And you can hear voices just echoing out down this area. And you also hear what sounds like cries of pain and agony. Excuse me, in agony. Taqren would nod at the ranger sitting here, and that ranger wouldn't say anything, but he would then lead you into the stockade. Torren, Taqren would tell you, this is where we sleep. Home away from home, I guess. You get used to it, although it is quite dark all the time. And the sick are way, way south. At least the long-term ones that we could save. You can hear them screaming in the nights. Not too fun, but you know, it is what it is. You get led past several of these hooded lanterns, which glance at you or stare at you curiously. And let me go ahead and grab this. In a sense, these guys are kind of prisoners here in Drakkenheim, almost, in its own weird way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. And here we go. Alright. You guys get led down this corridor. All the way to the very end. And I'm just going to ping where this is at. You can move your tokens down here. And when you get there, Taqren comes up and gives you all kind of a look of like, you know, hey, beware. You see he breathes in heavily, and then he, boom, 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 kind of bangs on the cell door. Lord Commander, I've returned with them. After a long moment, you hear just a grunt. Taqren kind of gives a nod, and he swings open the creaky cell. And inside here, sitting on a matted, dirty prison cot, just a small lantern with just the faintest glow inside, is Lord Commander Elis Drexel.
So sad.
This guy is the definition of brooding. He would be emo in today's world. If there's any way to go ahead and explain it. The light is barely lit enough to see him. You can see his bushy beard, his mustache. He sits on the bed, one foot off, hanging off, the other one kind of laid out. And there's a small table of documents and stuff with him. You can't really see his face from your position, and there's not enough room inside the cell for all of you to go in there. It is a prison cell. His face covered in shadows, his outline illuminated by the oil lamp in the room. You see he has a flask in his hand, and his muted, silhouetted face just looks in your direction.
I also look at Torren.
Hello there, sir. It's been a long time.
He takes a swig from his flask, but he doesn't say a word.
We understand that you may not be in the best of mood right now, but we were hoping to have a conversation to discuss some things with you.
Why did she send you here? See, Taqren is like down the hall. Like if you glance at him, he's looking at you. He has to like the cut.
Right, to speak with you.
He just gestures the flask or towards you. Doesn't say anything.
We came here to deliver Oscar Yoren's potions, but it seems he's been stiffing you. But
His silhouetted figure just takes a swig from his flask. And he just lets his wrist kind of dangle off of his knee.
we also have news from Shepherd's Gate that we would like to share with you, that we would need to deliver to you personally.
What is it?
Torren will look at the others, because I don't think he was actually there for this conversation. with Theodore.
Oh, you're already ready to go to that?
Uh-oh.
I'll also kind of look over at Torren and be like, "You didn't have anything else you wanted to bring up, Torren?"
Not at the moment.
When did Kesselholm tell you to go talk to the Silver Order?
I'm not here for Kesselholm.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm here as Torren.
Well, then what do you want, Torren?
I would like to. I want a large number of things. I want to get into the inner city, to back to my old home. I want to find where I want to find any remains of my father and where he might be. I want to see my home restored, like I know you do.
Then go visit it.
Easier said than done.
Taqren, you see your brother, like, immediately come up. Did the Countess send your brother down here? You see, Taqren swallow, and he goes, "No, I fetched for him. I, figured we could use the help." Hold on. Oh. There we go. Hmm. Give them something useful for the potions, and see them about their way. You see, Taqren goes, Lord Commander, it's a long way between here and Emberwood, or anywhere else. And the Lord Commander says, could we get them stationed for the evening? If they can fit in your cell. You see his face, still covered in shadows, turns towards you. Torren. Is that it?
No. No, it's not.
Then what do you want?
I want to know in getting this gate back and all your searching if you know anything about the seal. The steward's seal.
You see he turns away from you. He just shakes his head. The whole reason your brother is still alive is he's supposed to find that for us.
My brother is helping you retake Drakkenheim. If he finds the seal, that's good, but that's not the sole reason he's here.
He's here to serve your countess.
Oh, to hell with her. What he may have done things for her, but I know that he's fighting for our home, the home that our father died for, the home our mother still wants to come back.
Didn't you swear an oath?
I swore an oath if I ever kept the name of Grendel, I would fight for her. But I'm not here as Torren Grendel.
Then besides whining to me about where you used to live at, whatever happened to your fucking dad, what the fuck do you want?
Would want help reclaiming my home.
Your home is several blocks that way.
Are you that sad about what you've done?
He doesn't respond. You just see the shadow of him just looking at you. Be careful, boy.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm expecting too much. I hoped I would see the person I looked up to that day in my moment of weakness, when everything seemed so down, when I felt even trying to find a way to work around it with all my thoughts to still having to bend the knee. And you didn't. What was it you said that day? Staring down that monstrosity that afternoon at the lake when it destroyed seeing what it did.
He just looks at you.
In my moment of weakness, I did swear an oath. One I would gladly take Oathbreaker to break, and one I do not hold in my heart. But you did that day. But what do I know? I don't see that person right now.
You see after a long while, he finally kind of just hangs his head and he takes another long drink.
I've heard rumors of things happening in the Queen's Garden. Don't know what they mean. They say maybe there are ghosts hanging around there, but we'll probably head there eventually, even for our own personal sakes. If you're not going to do it, then I'll be sure to let you know what we find. You all have something to say it. I don't think I have anything left to say to the person in this cell.
You see, he just sits there. All of you look awkwardly at each other.
No, Aloy's just like bored.
Tina wants to say something, but she's waiting because she knows that every time she opens her mouth, I get in trouble. So.
Oh man. Nobody else is speaking up. Torren, it's obvious that you're done with the conversation.
Oh yeah, no, he has fully walked out of the cell back to where his brother is.
Okay. I just didn't want to interrupt your character moment.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have more business with you. If you're even inclined to talking.
What do you want?
With the potions and all that. You're being stiffed. Does that even register on your give a fuck scale?
He kind of harumps at that.
Answer enough.
You gonna do something about it?
I mean, potentially. If there's more in it for us, because we all know nothing's ever just done out of the kindness of anybody's hearts. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have use for competent fighters, or are you okay holding on to the teenagers?
When you say that, he sits up. I have a use for people who care about Drakkenheim.
Oh, I care about Drakkenheim. Otherwise,
you?
why else would I be slopping through this city to come meet you?
Like half of the other fuckers out here, looking for a quick payday.
Oh, I'm looking for more than that.
What are you looking for then?
She kind of eyes him a little bit. I was told by somebody, I think that you know, that potentially could call Drakkenheim my own. How interested are you actually getting a region on the throne?
Torren!
Oh, he's done
Yeah.
talking to you. Oh, unless you want to, Torren.
Well, apparently he wants to talk to me now.
You can talk to him only if you want to. He already dismissed you.
Did she send your friends?
They don't even know who she is.
What else you got? He says, looking at you, Alice.
A personal sighting of somebody who went missing a few months ago, apparently.
you talking about?
I'll tell you everything. As long as you agree to sign an agreement I bring.
You see, he is not satisfied with that as he leans back. Fuck you.
No, thank you. I'm not interested in men.
As I said, thank you for the potions. I'll make sure the brothers here get you something useful.
We've moved on past that subject.
And
You've
then
already
you
said that.
can leave my garrison.
And Alice will look over to Torren. So Alice is looking at Torren to see, kind of like you can tell she's trying to see if you want her to push it or not.
Might as well. It's not
And
gonna listen to anything else.
she'll look back to the rest of the party too.
You see Loey is biting his lower lip real fucking hard.
Brett, can I okay, so I'm gonna ask Ku because Tina is thinking in her head. When we were on the train in the dream, we saw this guy. Tina would have seen this guy. Yes.
Yes.
And then Tinu knew that there were kids on that train. Yes, correct?
Yes.
And then the guy basically, okay, so I don't quite remember what happened, but I think we saw him and then he let us through to go continue doing what we were doing, right?
Yeah, you saw him go into the room with a bunch of family members and a bunch of kids, and then you guys followed after and he was not there. Instead, you guys were in another room that seemed a bit empty and some black tentacles and stuff.
Can I, would I be able to assume from that he let those kids die? And that, no, you don't know? Okay, and then
I'll let you as a character, you can, come to the subject. Well, with what you know.
My second thing I want to do is, can I insight this guy? Because, remember last session, Tinu talked to Jacob, right? And I had asked him, how do you feel? Like, why, like, after that, the comment fell out, because Tinu, as a person, seeing these people who lived here, and he was so like, oh, we're gonna take back our home, and da-da-da-da, and he's just a captain, right? And this guy is the commander, and then he's here, like, not even half an ounce of hope as that same guy. And maybe Ku's just not connecting something, but it feels wrong to Tinu and Ku. Can I insight him to see, like, I don't know, like, is he really, like, believe in that still? Or, like, is he, like, because he seems like he's depressed. He seems like he doesn't, like, he's tired and he doesn't want to talk to people. He doesn't want to, like, do this anymore. Or either that, or he's just sick of, like, people lying to him.
Sure, roll me an insight.
When she's done, I have something, Brent.
Oh, not 20! 27.
You gather from his initial questions with or conversation with Torren, he seems to, despite his brooding and depressing mood at the moment, unfortunately you guys rolled a 1 on that D4, you get a sense that he still at least believes in his mission. Give me just another rehash of what else you're looking for here.
Kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to, like, metagame. I'm trying to think of it like if I was there, what would I be? Because if I was there in the room, I'm pretty good at reading people. So I guess I'm like, is he like depressed from being in Drakkenheim? Because you know how Ansem was
You
getting
get a
swapped
sense,
out?
yes, that like they're seeing, like you can see it on the, like, you can hear it in his voice. There seems to be a heavy weight of this guy's responsibilities and what he believes in, which seems to be Drakkenheim weighing in on him 100%. But right now he does not seem to be in a good mood at all.
I look at the party, and if nobody does or say anything, Tunu will go into the.
That's right. What's your 27? You do know though that he gained some energy when Alice mentioned something about somebody several months ago.
Yeah.
That's the most energetic you've seen this guy.
Yeah.
He like perked up
I
when
caught that.
she mentioned it.
But I don't want to do anything yet until the party is completely done. But if nobody else is like making a move or talking, Tinu will go and kneel in front of him on the floor. But I think Ron wanted to do something, so Tinu will wait before I do what I want to do.
Ron is actually going to go up to Taqren while they're having their conversations.
He's sitting next to you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what's something that would lift this man's spirits? Because honestly, it doesn't seem like we're going to get anywhere here with him tonight.
You see, it's hard. I know. Magdalena, he cared about her a lot. Yeah, that's what he says.
Okay, so we're supposed to do Magdalena? I'm not catching where you're going with that.
Yeah, I don't know, give him some hope or something. Is she still alive? He kind of shrugs.
Ron's just confused, being a more literal creature, just not understanding what he's meaning.
You can tell that you just like try not to go ahead and be too loud here, considering where he's at. But he seems to just be indicating to you that Magdalena seems to get some reaction from this guy. So maybe that's a good line of reasoning. But if you're looking for him to tell you like some surefire way, he doesn't seem to. All he seems to do is kind of give you like, I know it sucks kind of look.
Yeah, I'm not gonna even waste an insight on it. Okay, I'll let them continue.
Is anybody else gonna do anything?
No. I'm waiting to see if anybody else does too before I say something.
Because talking about feelings tends to make people mad.
Very good.
I might say something, but at this point, I'm letting either you take the helm. I might pipe in, but at this point, I think it's more your scene than mine.
Okay.
Soften him up for me, Tinu.
Okay, Tinu will go in, and I'm going to kneel right in front of him. And
you could smell alcohol like all over this guy.
Fine. She just kind of looks at him, and like you said, I did clock that when Alice brought up. You didn't say her name, right, Alice? You just said somebody.
I didn't say her name, no.
No, but he seemed to know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm waiting.
Tinu would have clocked on that, so Tinu's gonna I lost some people too. And I'm pretty bad at trying to explain, so I'm sorry. I'm to explain what I'm thinking, but it's hard. And I saw that when we saw Ansem come back from this place, he didn't look happy. And I think that you staying here in this room like this isn't helping. But I'm getting off topic again. I lost somebody too. I've lost people too, and I don't think they would want you to stay in here like this and to be sad. And you just see Tinu starting to cry, and she just says, "I can feel how sad you are." And it hurts. And I talked to Jacob, and I wanted to know how he felt about this whole situation, and he seems so full of hope, and he's just a captain, and you're the commander, and it feels so. That would feel so heavy if I had to carry all those people's hope. You see, she kind of like stumbles, and she takes a deep breath, and she tries to like. What am I trying to articulate, Tinu?
If you want to, you can just. I mean, I'm not gonna make you like have to completely go through it here, but you can just roll me a persuasion check if you're trying to get this guy to open up.
Yeah, she's trying to get him open up, and she's trying to like he just feels, even in real life I can feel it. He just feels so heavy, and it's so sad, and she just wants to like reach out and touch his heart or try to do something to make him feel better.
Sure. Now this guy, as you already know, he's in a extremely despondent state, so it's gonna be kind of hard. I'm looking for 17 or higher on trying to change this guy's disposition.
Come on, dice. Feel my heart.
Take inspiration. Take advantage as you're giving your soul out to this guy.
Oh, not 20!
Yeah.
And can I hug him, Brett?
If you get up to go to hug him, you see he instantly like moves.
Okay,
giving you an indication to like,
Okay, but she'll get back on her knees and look at him. Even Trent's cheering for me. You guys hear him?
You'll find your way, girl.
But I want you to find your way too. You're not alone. Tinu digs in her bag and she brings a bracelet out. If you want it, even if you want it or you don't want it, it's just a sign that you're not alone and that we're all here. Even though we're not friends, even though we don't know each other, like, sometimes we just need that reminder that we're not alone. And she'll set it next to him on the bed, the bracelet. And then she'll kind of like shake her wrist, like where hers is.
As you imagine, he just looks at it but doesn't move an inch to go ahead and pick it up.
Yeah, that's fine.
what I have hope for. You see, he looks back at you, Alice. Is some people come here with some resolve, some belief in something, besides trying to extort me to sign some bullshit papers.
Is he still looking at Alice?
Oh yeah. You see, at this moment, actually, he decides to get up. And this guy stands, he's like 6'5". He's a hulking dude, boulders as shoulders. He's like, for his age, this guy looks in incredible shape. You see, he walks up and looks at you, Torren, up and down. Then he looks at you, Alice, up and down. What do you know about Magdalena? You better start talking.
And a grin will cross Alice's face. She doesn't seem to be intimidated by him at all. If anything, there's definitely a spark in her eye that finally, he's got some pep to him. She's half-elf, right?
He grunts a yes.
I was a ward of House Jones. My entire family was. They killed my mother. Pretty sure they killed my father. Wanted to use me to regain the throne. And the only reason that this plot...
What do you got that can reclaim the throne?
See, that's the thing I'm working on. Putting the work in. Having the resolve to do better. Because the only time I saw Magdalena was in Caspia. When she sought me out.
You have his full attention. He's just staring at you.
Yeah, and Alice is being, like, she's holding eyes, like, she's not doing anything to look like she's speaking from the heart here, as much as Alice can. And she sought me out, boldly claiming that she believed I may have a claim to the throne because of information she received about my ancestry. Something about old blood, I think. And I believed her. And that's what I'm here for. And I'm willing to work for it, not just it be handed over.
What if she was bullshitting?
Was she the kind of person to do that?
She looks away for a brief second. It's all just talk, he says as he sits back down on his bed. Unless no blood.
Oh, Loey says from outside.
Oh, yep, go for it.
Loey says, fuck that talk. We done a fuckload more than talking, you sour mule.
He just scoffs and goes, dwarf.
Drunk.
This guy looks at you, and this is like probably the only guy that could probably match your intensity and stare. You could tell that, like, this guy probably would have hesitated to, like, if he was in a worse mood, like, off somebody. But you could tell that he's more considering what he just heard than all of that.
All right.
Only way to prove it is the phylactery.
I'm aware. That's why I'm not strutting in here, staking my claim without anything to back it up. I've heard there's plenty of those who have done that, or thought they could buy their way into it. I have no interest in it being handed to me.
Orion Jones
Wanted it handed over. Ask what you want.
He opens his mouth, but before he can finish, you hear a sudden cacophony of noise, like somebody coming down into the stockade. You hear, "Get out of my way!" And you hear like a bunch of footsteps moving quickly in direction. And all of you, you see a sweaty, dirt, blood-stained Ansem come running down the passage. He, like, comes to a skidding stop, seeing all of you here. He seems to be surprised, but something else is obviously on his mind. He's a giant. He shoves everybody out his way now. You see he comes barreling in down the hall. He pushes past all of you.
Mm-hmm.
Commander! He's breathing heavy. They have her! They have Petra!
What?
You see his attention when suddenly focuses on him. We were fortifying the outpost and they ambushed us. A bunch of them. I'm pretty sure it was a whole war pack. They're probably trying to push our position. We scattered. They flooded the streets. I couldn't get back around to us. To her. They were mowing us down. You see, the commander goes, "Slow down!" Come again. Slower. They have Petra. The Garmir. Closer to the south. We were making our rounds. I was gonna take her back with the platoon. It's a war pack. They attacked us and we scattered as we should. I tried to follow, I couldn't. I came back around. I ran here and on the way I saw a flare go up. Elis. It means that they're still out there, they're pinned down. We gotta get a squad together now! We have to go get her before it's too late! You see the Lord Commander breathing heavy. His eyes then turn to you, Torren. You care about this city?
You're damn right, I do. And I'm planning to go even if you don't ask me.
Looks at you, Alice. You think you belong on the throne?
Looks like I just got another chance to prove it, huh?
Ansem looks at all of you, goes, what? Commander, they were supposed to get the potions and bring it back. I can go ahead and get a squad of the best that we have upstairs. And you see, the commander goes, no. We're already down 2 platoons. You go with them. He gestures to all of you. You see Taqren comes up and goes, Commander, sir, let me go too. With my brother. You see he looks at you, Alice. And you, Torren. That's right. Prove it.
Alice just smiles and looks at Torren.
The words I couldn't say that day. I'll live by them now.
You see Ansem looks kind of frustrated, but he doesn't question the Lord Commander. Get your things and let's go! You see that he immediately begins to run back upstairs.
All right. We don't have much time.
Most I can ask for is some armor for the dwarf. His got eaten on the way here.
Oh yeah, that was a bunch of shit. Stupid fucking.
You guys turn to follow after Ansem as quick as you can. I'm not going to move everybody, but you guys head back upstairs and push through the crowd of the Green Lanterns that's inside of the garrison. Taqren is following you, and you notice Taqren stops you for a second. Torren goes, I got your back, brother. Whole way.
I know you do.
Can I insight check him?
Hold on a second, and he goes, for Castle Home, right? Looks at you, Torren.
For the family.
Right? The family and Castle Home.
Right.
You see he exhales, breathe, like he's let out some stress. Let's go do this.
Can I insight Torren's response? Did I hear that?
Sure. I mean, I
I
would
would
say,
insight Taqren.
we're just gonna, if you get a 15 or above, Torren, you can maybe reveal some inner thoughts you have if you so choose.
Absolutely.
I'm
I'm
go ahead and
fine
roll
with
me an
that.
insight with Taqren, Ron. As your reptilian eyes look at this guy. You get a sense that Ron is frightened by the idea of his brother not swearing to Castle Home. Like visibly like looking for much reassurance, which tells you his disposition is deeply seated with Castle Home.
Okay.
Probably more so than anything going on here.
Good to know. Thank you.
17. What do you want to reveal here, Torren?
You can see that when he said for the family, that was completely heartfelt for and legitimate. But when he pressed him for Kesselholm in particular, it seemed to be a bit less heartfelt and more what he knows his brother wants to hear. And as Taqren looks more relieved going away, you might notice that Torren is grimacing a little harder now that his brother's not looking directly at him.
Aleph would come up to Torren and kind of put her hand on his shoulders. Everyone's kind of running a little forward. We'll talk later.
Right.
I got your back. You had mine. You tell me what you want for this.
And before you tell him that, Taqren does the same
okay.
thing to you, Torren. He says, "We'll talk later. After this."
Yeah.
Don't do my lines, Brent.
I couldn't help
I'm not mad at
help
you,
myself.
for
You guys,
we're gonna drink after this.
Yeah.
you guys get a short rest in if you need it during your stay here and everything. But you guys head upstairs and push past the hooded lanterns following Ansem, and he leads you guys outside of the garrison. He is running like the entire way, occasionally looking back at you guys to see if you keep up with him. And we're going to stop our session here tonight for that, because I think it'll be more appropriate to start what is probably going to be a long combat session coming up next time.
Brent, if at all possible, if we really had an hour in the fort before we left with Ansem, could I have found armor and
Lifted it?
Yeah.
I brought that up. That's why I brought it up.
Okay,
Sorry.
so looking around, I will give this to you. We'll condense this into one check of investigation.
You don't want a sleight of hand? Okay, fair enough.
No, as in finding out. You're looking around, trying to size up where this stuff probably would be, how you can go ahead and get there and do it without anybody caring or noticing, and getting out and back in enough time where nobody, you're like, nobody give a shit. I would say that's more of an intelligence or
investigation.
Type of thing than anything. So
right.
we'll boil it down to that. And I'm going to say DC is 16.
Okay, chance in heck, but let's see if it happens. Oh, look, a 19.
While Tinu was in the infirmary and people were standing around talking, you happen to find some armor. Let's see here.
You tell me.
Yeah, hold on.
I'm hoping medium or light. I'll wear it.
You find some leather armor.
Great. I'll take it.
And everybody's drinking and joking. You're able to go ahead and cop that without anybody seeing. But whoever's going to be taking inventory is going to be like, hold on a second. One suit of armor is missing from this motherfucker. Who took it?
They better brand their armor.
They shouldn't drink as much.
Now.
All right. So yeah, I think it's going to be appropriate for us to start our next session, rolling right into it, as we are in a moment here where there seems to be an opportunity for you guys to at least prove to Elis Drexel you're serious about your dedication to at least the people who are working to save the city, if not the city itself. And we're going to say it's about 9 p.m. The sun has just set. Out of all this. Yes, on the 23rd. And as you guys do go outside, you hear the crackle of thunder and lightning as we are at nighttime now. As, of course, yes, next session will begin with rain, torrential rain throughout the inner city.
Do we still have to walk there? Or are you...
Oh yeah, Ansem is like running through the rain. Yeah, he's like, Yeah, and interestingly enough, you saw a bunch of horses at the gate, but you didn't see really any horses here at the garrison.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Because they have all the horses then.
Yeah, So we'll see next time whether you guys how much you guys care about Drakkenheim, at least according to Elis Drexel here. And unfortunately, you guys got the bad roll. There's 4 modes this guy can be in,
Sorry.
and you guys got the the shitty mode.
I'm never
for
rolling
it.
again when you call for it.
We met the falling fire, burning furniture, and being crazy. We met what else? We met the Silver Order beheading people. We met Elias Drexel being an absolute mood.
But
I
honestly,
like him.
Drexel
And then
doesn't bother me.
River was completely coherent and went
River
ready,
was
to,
nice.
ready to tell you exactly what she needed to have done. Yes.
Yeah.
Drexel isn't actually bothering me.
Nah, he's
I
just a
like
mood.
him.
Well,
I'm sure there's some history that's gonna piss me off later, but I like him.
Yeah.
Well,
Drexel
there's another mood you guys haven't interacted with, guys. I'm pretty sure you'll hate that one. But right now he's depressed and brooding. So
Yeah.
I can handle that.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Drexel doesn't bother me. My real life inability to sometimes delete a conversation is what's bothering me.
Oh, it's no
fine.
problem.
You did
Yes,
good.
you did good.
Oh, I know.
You did good. But considering and the thing is that you know, you made that sword of allegiance to Kesselholm, which this guy knows, and definitely it's going to take a minute to change his disposition towards that. But I understand why you, of course, would do that as Torren, considering your mother is there. You are under almost their locking key. I mean, you want to make sure your family's okay. That makes complete sense, you know. But
Yep.
you know, this guy doesn't have like apparently family, at least like that. So you know, it's like whatever.
Constance is still a thing, right, Brent? Like she's still around.
Yes, she's still around, 100%.
Okay.
She is not the only person in that room you know has perished was Manfred von Kessel, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, good job, guys.
Oh man, I've been worried, Brent. I'm like, man, all these NPCs are not gonna really help Alice to what she wants. And then once you like fitted that whole like him tied to Magdalena, I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing here. Thank you, because I
Yes.
was literally, even as a player, scrambling. I'm like, how the fuck is Alice gonna do anything?
Yes,
I mean,
he has an attachment. He has a soft spot, and we'll see how you guys exploit that. But I'm
Yep.
interested to see. Like,
Totally.
I'm so happy now that I don't know. Do you guys? I don't think you guys have done. You guys have just done the Rat's Nest and the Scar
What?
and
Yeah, we haven't
and
done
Oscar
those.
Yorns. Okay.
I don't think we
Yeah.
did
No,
those.
we did the what's the rat's nest?
Yeah. I
No,
don't
he's
think we
talking to
did.
me and Shane. who
Yeah,
played
yeah, sure,
this.
because they played like for like a large part of like the first part of this, and so yeah, but I'm just kind of looking to like, okay, well,
Our Petra hook was in the Rat's Nest, so
Yeah.
that's why me and Shane knew like the Petra hook was coming, but I was very curious to see where it was gonna lead. Like,
Boy, here it
So.
is.
yeah.
And so we got one more lore drop for Torren
Yay!
next session, and that's it. And then we're gonna have a break from
Boy,
that
yeah.
because you guys are gonna be in the thicket. You've learned some interesting information about the cosmological or the clock tower. I hope that is noted. And it looks like you guys are on a mission. Mission being to save Petra Lang. That would close that out if you do so.
Yeah, Kolobati's more interested in the fact that there's elven artifacts in that clock tower.
This is very true. This is very true. So next time we will do it. I'm gonna go ahead and end stream here. We're done a bit early. So yeah, and we will see what you guys do with this very. This is gonna be a. It's gonna be an interesting. Oh, you know what I should do actually before we stop here? Somebody roll me a percentile.
Nope, not it.
I'll do
It's
it.
only bad if you get 10% or lower. So.
Exactly why I'm not doing it. Because I
gotta
would.
Open it again. I'll do it. Okay, here you
Do it. Do it.
Hey.
go. Roll.
All right.
65.
65.
Good to go. Good to go. All right. Well, I'm ending stream. Thank everybody out there. Like, subscribe. I'm getting
Good
used to
stream.
saying this stuff, being like, actively promoting this. So, yes, please. Thank you, Cookie, for your donation. We'll go ahead and catch you next time. Probably going to keep this session for Twitch because this is a good set. I'm going to keep all the Torren sessions for when I build everybody's little character profile. So that would be good. But anyway, holla at your boy. See you later. Good night.
Yep, see you next
Goodbye.
week.
Nice dream. Woo.
Bye.
Yes. I kind of wish I had a Craig. Goodbye, Craig.
Bye, Craig. Right?
Yeah.
I love that Cookie started following. That's great. She's in
That
my
is great.